I was recently sent a screener for the new Nicolas Cage movie, The Surfer, a psychological thriller where Nick Cage is he's good old Nick Cage in this movie. In this movie, Nicolas Cage is an Australian man. Now, does he speak with an Australian accent? No, he doesn't. But that doesn't matter because it's Nick Cage, and you'll buy anything he does, especially in this movie. But it's Nick Cage, and only Nick Cage could really play this role. I'll get there in a bit. Nicolas Cage is trying to buy his old family house. It's on this wonderful beachside, and when he takes his son to visit the place, he gets kicked off the beach by the local surfer bros. And instead of doing the reasonable thing and leaving, coming back another day when he's, actually bought the house, he kind of just posts up and begins to obsess over these local jerks to the point where it feels like no world really exists beyond the borders of this beach and parking lot. His life quickly spirals out of control and he is stripped away as a human being until we start to question, wait, what the hell is going on? Who is Nick Cage? Who really is the man behind the eyes that are Nick Cage's eyes? And it's pretty freaking weird. Now, like I said before, we're doing the review now. Like I said before, this is a movie really only Nick Cage could pull off, even though he has zero attempts at an Australian accent. Even with his backstory explaining how he lived in America for some time, it was well past a reasonable age where he would have gotten an American accent or dropped the Australian accent. But again, it's Nick Cage. And while a sane person would make none of the decisions that Nick Cage makes in this movie, you buy it because, again, it's Nick Cage. This movie is a very strange one for me. And right off the bat, I gotta say, I didn't have fun with it. Throughout the movie, Nick Cage is constantly being bullied and watching others get bullied by this gang of surfer bros. It's especially like the teenage boys. They're the worst. And as pieces of his identity are slowly being stripped away and he's constantly losing more and more of himself, it's just depressing. The movie is a psychological thriller. You start to question whether Nicolas Cage is a reliable narrator for the story. But in other movies where the thriller aspect is stronger, I'll say, I think Shutter Island is a fair comparison, where you start to question the reality of the world around the character and the character's reality himself. This one is just so depressing. Nick Cage is a crazy person, but he is a really good actor. And in all these moments where he loses a little bit more of himself, he gives away another piece of himself because he's so obsessed with holding on to this one good thing about his childhood. You just feel so bad. It's extremely effective because it is such good acting. But I don't want to be a part of that. And there is this side plot where you start to question that is he actually this homeless man that he's been seeing wandering around? Is he slowly falling into this tragic life that this other guy has with everybody else just ignoring him and picking on him and furthering his descent? And you just feel gross. I wanted to turn it off at times because I just felt bad watching it. And if that's what the director was going for, then good job. 10 out of 10 as far as achieving your goal goes. But for me and the kind of movies that I like, uh, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. There are always stories to be told of people's loss of humanity or, mental health and tragedies around that. One of my favorite movies ever is Trainspotting. It's in my top 5 and there is nonstop tragedy in that. But there's always a glimmer of hope just around the corner in Trainspotting. In this one, it's just a constant beat down. And that's really like all I can talk about. The acting is really great. The story is compelling. The style is very engaging. It starts off with this kind of like La La Land feel to it, and I don't mean La La Land as in the movie La La Land, but that Hollywood style. A lot about it works really well, but like I said, this is one of those movies where I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie because I didn't like it. It's one of those movies that it's not for me. It's just so depressing. For those reasons, I give it 2.5 stars out of 5. maybe 3 stars out of 5. But when I mark it on Letterbox, I don't put the heart. I did not like it. Anyway, thank you, Pixel Media, for sending me this film. The film is out this weekend in theaters. Check it out if you like Nick Cage and all his craziness. And let me know what you think if you've seen it.